How's everyone doing? Anyways, so I guess we're back. The first part of this episode was essentially just a time lapse. I had a simulation to kind of simulate this area of the city, but I realized actually halfway through that I had a mod on here that allows infinite industry for my city, so I actually don't need industry at all, which is why I was originally doing some industry over here, but nothing actually grew. So I've turned that off now. I've gone through, I've kind of cleaned up to my mod list, and eventually I will be posting the mod list online for you guys to look at. I have quite a few mods, mostly city angles, additional roads, things like that, but hopefully it won't be too hard to figure out. I'll have to find a way to go through and actually create that. I've never actually created a mod list on Steam, so it's a good start. But anyways, so today, now that I have you guys here with me, I didn't want to do the entire video as a time lapse. It's just kind of boring in a sense. But there will be definitely a couple more simulations in here, so we'll let the simulation run for a bit and let these kind of cities develop. And it's starting to look out pretty good, I think. Of course, right now, we don't have really good wealth around here, and we don't have very high education. I do want to put in a university, and I think that might be what I will target in this particular episode. Now, I did mention that I would eventually want to kind of make this area, one of these zones at least, an actual university, and so I think we might actually do that, because a lot of these places, they just need a university to kind of get them over the hump, right? And then transportation, they need transportation to their jobs, which we don't really have right now, and cargo as well. So those are the three key things that we're going to be looking towards. They have pretty good noise, crime, fire, hazard, abandonment. And actually, if I bring you guys over here and you can take a look at the land value, our average land value is 54, I don't know what this is, like a cents or whatever, meters squared per meter squared or something like that. Ideally, want to get into high, as you can see, it's actually starting to happen. And as the city develops, the city will definitely move towards a cleaner look. But for now, we have these kind of small neighborhoods. Even this looks like basically like not even an actual house. This looks like a shack with a satellite on top of it, and somehow it houses 4 people. Right, and those are the kind of things. These are really entry-level kind of residential homes. Eventually, we'll get much nicer looking homes into the actual kind of city that we want it to be. Yeah. So here we have like another shack. Same shack here. Here we have it looks like not even. It's literally a trailer park, and yeah, that okay. Yeah, so ideally we're eventually going to want to move out from here. But education does take a while in this city Skylines, and so I think we're actually going to go ahead and start working towards building that the university that we were talking about. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So anyways, I'm thinking we will actually kind of put it up here against the mountains. Seems like a pretty decent place, and this isn't going to be some really, really large university, right? This is going to be a very kind of small townish university is the idea that we're going for here. And so we'll just have like this area right here cordoned off from the university. And there's a couple of buildings here that I actually have that I like to use for my university. So this is like a default university. And the default university in actual city Skyline, I believe, is this one. And I have a couple of actual buildings further on down. So that's a high school. This is a modern high school. And so you can see I have a couple of edits here, or a couple of not labs. I have a couple of different assets here. And actually, I've never seen this telescope dish. Interesting. Yeah, so it's actually gotten to the point where I haven't really I don't even remember how many things that I have on here, but we'll try to place them all down and then see where everything goes. And the brunt of the actual university itself, because we want to have a couple of lecture halls, we want those kind of things. So you have like a state library that we can actually double as maybe off the side here, and we have campus dorms. These are going to be really essential for us. We have a little undergraduate library is what this is, and we can have a modern community. We have towers A and I believe B A, yeah. This is wing A and that's wing B, right? And so these are the kind of different assets that we're working with here, and we're gonna have to take all these down as we decide what we want to do with it, right? And we're gonna try to make, and then of course we have the track and field, the actual sports stadium. So we want to make this as much of a university or fleshed out university as possible, I think. So we're gonna want to create a couple of small roads in here, some 2-lane plain streets, and most universities don't actually have really large streets per se, or really intense streets, and so we're not gonna really go for that look right there. And so I think one of the things that we want, first of all, is we need to figure out, actually let me put in the track and field, because that track and field is pretty big. So we'll put in this track and field right here as the start. So this is the corner of our campus now, and this street is going to be kind of the border of it, and we're going to do mostly these small streets down into the actual area. Alright, so we want to maximize the actual city or actual space without making it look too crowded. So we'll do a track and field this time to be, might be really crowded, so we'll do something separately here. And we actually might put a parking lot over here. Now, student dorms. Student dorms are an essential portion of the college experience, as many of you guys probably know. So we'll do a little bit actual road here, and then we'll go straight down. Can we fit a student dorm in this little area? Yes, we can. So we can actually fit it even up here along the actual road itself. So it's almost like an off-campus living situation-ish area, but for now we'll keep it this way. Maybe even just add just one more off to the side right here. Right. So that should be more than enough student housing for, I guess this will be called Cold Harbor University. Yeah, I like that. And then maybe we can, if we need to, we can expand up here with more housing, right? So student housing is now covered. We want it, like I said, to be not too clustered. So I'll put this research actually right across the street from the state library. That looks like a really nice, eco-friendly research center. And it has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 parking lots. Wow, 5 whole parking spots. It's not realistic, but it works. Right. And when I build these actual, these little communities and these colleges, I like to have the actual, this is a modern community college. It just looks nice as a lecture hall, and this by itself looks pretty decent. Of course, this parking in the back is going to be really weird, but we might actually just move this down here. Right. That kind of works. And then we want a little bit, we're going to actually want some pedestrian roads that connect these little areas like so the students have a easy way of getting home or getting to class. There we go. We'll make it more of a gravelly road. And so we have 2 lecture halls now. We do need an undergrad library somewhere. The slope is too steep up here, so we're gonna have to do it down here. Let's try to do it as close as possible to this top slope as possible. So the issue with building this on the mountain is you end up with these really weird kind of curves. I don't really like the way that looks, so we'll just put it down here. I think it's gonna be really tough to do. And anyways. Okay, so we'll flatten this out actually just the normal way by using a road here, and actually this might work. We can just connect this straight on to this road. So this is now kind of cordoned off, and so it won't look as bad. Of course, it might still look a little bit sloppy, but we can make do with that, right? And let's do one more. Actually, let's look at what else we need to build. So we have a research institute. We have a couple of lecture halls. We have an undergraduate library now. We could do a music conservatory, right? We want diversity in our actual area. So I think this actually might fit up here. So let's actually try this out. So it fits right here. It does, once again, bring up the hill issue. I think we might put it down slightly. So let's move it down here. It might not look as bad. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad in terms of the actual hill, because this hill is definitely steeper than this one. So we'll do that. And once again, we'll connect this back here. What else? What else? We do want to have like an on-campus health, actually, right? Because you want an actual health center on campus, but you know, that serves essentially the Cold Spring Harbor PD or whatever, right? And so we'll do that too. Let's get a couple of emergency services on the actual street. Well, these are okay to put up here, and we'll put like a large police department up here, actually, right? So these are going to be kind of the emergency services for this area, and eventually this road will go up and over. So actually, why don't we build that construction right now as well? So the idea here is it'll go up slightly, and I like that look where it goes straight in, and then this is going to be actually more housing up here, right? And this will be the start of a housing area, so we'll just extend it there unconventionally for now, and eventually it comes back down. We can maybe do a little bit more housing over here as needed, right? But anyways, back to our university. Let's do a couple of roads leading through. That'll flatten it out, so we could do with that too. So we have a couple of really good entrances and exits into the actual campus. What am I trying to say? This one we put in an actual satellite here. It's a little bit off kilter, but it works. I don't think we can fit it over here in this area. Actually, can we? Maybe we can knock out one of these. Yeah, we can. I like this look. I wish it were facing the other way, but unfortunately it isn't, so that just sucks. Anyways, we'll get a soccer field in here. Definitely need to, you know, keep active, stay active. We want a healthy lifestyle for our students. Basketball court would look good. I'm an avid fan of basketball, so can't say no to basketball. Okay, so we have this. Like I said, it's gonna be pretty sporadic. It's not the biggest campus that we're gonna make. It's definitely one of the smaller campuses, like an offshoot almost of the main campus. But we'll see how it looks. What can we build here that might look nice? A community high school. That is huge. We could do a modern high school, actually. Might as well, just because it's there. And actually, I don't know if this is facing. Let's face it up. I think I like it facing. See, once again, it's that hill issue. It looks better this way. No, I think we're gonna just leave this down, and we'll bring it down here. Can we fit it anywhere else? No. Kind of like an almost like a off-campus area for them to go to, and I actually do want to add more of these dorms. They look really nice up against this hill. Can you imagine living in these dorms and actually having this view right here? Like that is really nice. And eventually that's going to be all built out. It's going to be housing, but then you get the bay in the back and then some mountains over here on the side. I think it looks nice. I think it looks really nice. We could include a kind of almost like but that blocks the view really. Maybe up here. We might do the actual larger towns up here. And there is a research center that I wanted to place. Will it fit here? Slope too steep. Nope, not gonna fit here. Alright, it's not gonna fit here, but I do want to put this somewhere. So I run the risk of going too far off campus. It might not look as great. Actually, I'm thinking maybe we can even just get rid of this. Let's just get rid of that road for now. It'll come back later, but for now I think we don't need it. And then that will give us enough space to put this. Perfect. And so we actually almost even can have a potential connection to the community university over on this side. Do we want to do that? So it becomes twice as big. It'll serve this entire population and possibly even further one over here as needed. I think we might be interested in doing. Well, first of all, let's fill in this extra space. So we have these two universities up here, looking towering essentially over the rest of the neighbors. I might put a couple of satellite dishes actually just in the middle of the campus. Why not? And then we can have just a random green area for the students. You know, it's like a forestry area, I guess, is what it is. That could work. And I just want to see if I can flatten this out slightly. Nope, cannot do that. Alright, we'll have to deal with this like that. That works. Right? And so we have this kind of area. Perfect. And we'll do some parking now. Parking, I don't know if I think I may have deleted a lot of my parking structures just because they were taking up a lot of my space, but we'll add in a couple as we can. Right. And I did mention that we want to have some parking across the hall from here. Across the natural track and field, we have some parking up here. Doesn't look half bad. Right. And we'll get a couple more parking going. There's a walkway. What is this? A Night Spire Casino. Wow. Carport. So that's our hotel side. And we'll eventually end up doing a hotel, so that's why I have those here. Can we fit actually one of these here? What is this? This is like a little park. Alright, and it works. I like it. Ooh, airport parking. A closed playground. A closed playground on campus? Do we need that? Why not? And a nice small car park. So there we go. Car park. We'll put over here to the side and over here. Can't fit it up here. Maybe just put it right next to it as well. So we have a couple of car parks here. And actually, we'll do a little bit of on-campus actual parking. There we go. So there's a couple of on-campus parking spots. That looks like a really terrible parking lot to be parked in, but let's try to make it slightly better. How about that? It's slightly better. It's not weirdly off shape, right? And that works. And so we'll do a couple of. So yeah. So this is gonna be. It essentially extends from over here. It does cover this area, but there's a little bit of commercial here. And we'll do some commercial actually right here. Why don't we zone that as well, right? So the students have something to actually live in, right? And then we'll do a couple of, like I said, a couple of mountain areas here for the students. We'll do a couple more residential here. And it's like more off-campus housing. So this area is actually going to become off-campus housing as well. And we'll wanna spruce it up slightly. I think we definitely want to spruce it up slightly. So we actually have a whole football field. I wonder if we can fit this somewhere. Let's actually move this. Fit this right next door. So like I said, our space is definitely growing. We could always just extend the actual university over a bit, and I'm thinking we might actually just do that right now. I think it's a good idea because this university is definitely going to grow eventually. Ideally this becomes a no, we're not going to build too many universities in this map, of course, but we will definitely put several. And so it doesn't hurt to have a little bit more, right? And we'll do just to have on the side an actual ground school. So ground school is more of like an elementary school, but it adds to the diversity that's on the field. And so we can't fit really another library. That's fine. We don't need another library. All right, so we do have this area. We'll want to green this up a bit, and to do that, let's go into our little trees area. We'll increase the size slightly, and we'll just kind of pepper the area with trees for now. And let's give it a couple of different types of trees. We'll increase the size slightly. I do have an unlimited trees mod going on, so in vanilla city skyline there is actually a limit to the number of trees you could have. We'll come in here and hand draw some of these trees, this area right here. I want as many trees as possible on this actual campus. It just looks nice and it looks naturey, and we want the campus to blend into the nature as much as possible. And so I'll just do a couple, not too much. I don't want to overwhelm the place with trees as well. That's another thing. But since this is a hill, it's not going to really have really nice flat patches of grass. The kind of patches that we would want, let's say, students to play ultimate frisbee on a hot day, or sit there and go reading. So it's better actually to cover up these, at least in my opinion, these really awkward looking hillsides areas with these trees. I don't, like I said, I don't want to go too overboard with the trees, but at the risk of making it look really bad, I think I might add in more trees, right? Just to give it a little bit more actual naturey look to it. And yeah, so that's a decent amount, and we'll cover in a couple more here as well near this area. Cool. So this looks like a not half bad area. We actually do have some more space here. We'll just outline this for now with trees, and eventually maybe we can grow this into like a park or something like that. Yeah. A couple more things next to the football field. These isolate the noise, you know, make it look nice. Car park area here, and then we'll actually just connect this in to this area right here, right? So we've kind of outlined this university, but it doesn't look that bad. So I will actually come in here, and I'm just trying to get us into this zone, and we can take a look at the university we built. So this is what it looks like from the actual bay. There's going to be a couple of satellites, there's a couple of student housing lining up the back here, and the student housing, well, except for these ones right here, which are going to be basically facing the lecture hall and forever reminded of their despair in studying. These guys are going to get a really nice view of the bay and eventually of the actual town itself. And later on we'll have even, these guys have even more. These are more the actual administrative / really nice research buildings, almost, I would say. And we have we have a music conservatory here, which is pretty nice, and so they get a little bit of humanities in there. Another research center that looks almost like a stadium, so it's a little weird, but we'll eventually maybe get some more assets. And we actually have a football stadium, so we can get some sports going. We can call these the Cold Harbor University pigeons. Let's call them pigeons. I don't know. So their mascot can be the pigeons. And we have a couple of another research center right across the street, the state library. And then this particular botanical garden, or not botanical, but Japanese garden looks a little weird, but it'll work. And eventually maybe we can even put a botanical garden up here, right? Yeah, I like that. So that's the first step. We have a little bit of room to maneuver, really a little bit more room to build, and eventually we may end up using that, but for now I think we're good. I might go into the Steam Workshop and get a couple more mods or a couple more assets, but we'll see from there. So let's actually start the simulation again, let these guys start growing, and we should eventually see the land value start increasing, right? And so this definitely looks a little bit greener. So we're already at 66. I believe when we started we were at 56 or 54. Once again, it's a step in the right direction, and these guys, see, now their university is crazy great. They are missing a little bit in terms of the death transportation, and one of the issues with simulating a lot in terms of city skyline at once is the life expectancy for these sims is a little bit routine, in the sense that if you sim a lot at once and they all move in at once, they will all die at the same time too. And then you have this issue of tons of people dying at the same time, and then not enough transports, and you end up with this whole kind of mess of things. And so the idea is we want to put in block by block. We don't want to zone this entire area and then just let it fully develop. Of course, that would be nice, but later on down the line, it'll be a huge hassle. Our medical center just definitely wouldn't be able to get it. And this is just having not enough educated workers. That basically means that, we see a lot. We have a really great elementary school availability, high school availability, university availability. It's just, it takes time for the sims to go from uneducated to educated, and then educated to well-educated. So it's a time process, and eventually they'll get there. Hopefully these stores don't close before then, but eventually they will. And it looks like our residential might be getting a little bit more need, so we'll actually zone in a couple more residentials right here, just along this block. And I've already gone through in the timeline, you guys saw this, but I've already gone through and actually watered the entire area, so we won't have to deal with water for a bit. Ooh, there's a large parking garage. We'll put that right here. Yeah, I've gone through so many iterations that I've actually almost forgotten what what things I have and what things I don't. So forgive me if it looks like I'm not that well prepared. And actually, this house already on its own looks amazing, even though it's only the first level. But you can see it's already gone into the second level. Eventually, it'll take some time. Once these people move in, they get happy, they'll upgrade their house, and we'll see that happening as well. And so you can see that happening over here now. A lot of people are doing some upgrades, and they upgrade from their weird trailer parks to these 2 or 3 story almost single family homes. Of course, they don't have fully developed backyards or fences like that, but they're starting to get there. So you can see this house right here looks really nice actually for a second level house. Ooh, this one is upgrading. This one's upgrading. It's upgrading. That doesn't look that bad. It's actually not gonna, it's got solar panels up top too. Interesting. Alright, so we will come back later on and... Oh, there's an in and out right here. Down and out is what it's called because of copyright. Alright, but we'll come back later on and figure out the industrial area. So that's the next step, the industrial area of this park. And we'll actually close the simulation for now just because it's lagging the computer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll end this episode with a nice shot of the town from up here on this roof. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely did. And I will see you guys next time where we will start building the industrial area over here. Maybe have this area a little bit more fleshed out and have people starting to move in. Alright, thanks for watching guys.